What's going on YouTube? Happy Saturday. We have quite the video for today. We're actually going to be going over this website that was discovered on Reddit called PYTH. I believe it's called PYTH, but I could be butchering that. And here on the website, we do have AMC here. And as you can see, this is on 8/10, where the price of AMC hit $768.50. And of course, throughout the video, we're going to be going through what this website is, who's backing this, and a little bit more DD into everything that's going on. So you do not want to miss it. Stay tuned for this video. Very, very interesting information. But guys, one thing I do have to say before we jump into this is, regardless of what your thoughts, comments are, it doesn't change our past DDs about AMC or GameStop and what's going on. This is simply just some behind the scenes things that could be going on. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So anyways, the way this was discovered was here on the level 2 data, someone pointed out MEMX, which is this new exchange that not many people have heard of. And look at this, the bid, and this is for GME right here, but of course the same relates for AMC. MEMX, 2,500 shares for $1.10. So that's absolutely ridiculous because look at this. Every other bid on this page is literally just about at the strike price. So why are we seeing well below the strike price? And that, of course, is going to raise some red flags. So that's how we found out what MEMX is. And we'll do a little deep dive into who these people are, what they offer, and additional information on them. So how are we different? MEMX offers a simpler platform and features that benefit both retail and institutional investors, including a limited number of order types to promote simple and transparent interactions, investments in the best and latest technology to deliver fast and efficient execution, lower pricing on market data, connectivity, and transaction fees. As a member-owned equities trading platform, MEMX represents the interest of its members and their collective client base, yada, 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 bunch of bullshit. Okay, so one thing that we found out here is why would they be using MEMX rather than all these other options that they have? So really the biggest thing that we found here is the transaction fees. That's really something big, and especially if you're placing very large bulk orders, you're going to want something with low transaction fees, of course. So the one thing with all of their transaction fees that stands out here is number Z, or letter Z here, not number, Jesus. So this is routed to another market and removed liquidity, and look at the fees on this, very, very, very low. So that is something interesting, but really where this just blows everything out of the water is who funds this operation. So if we look at their investors, this is just crazy and really upsetting actually. So we have Bank of America, BlackRock, Charles Schwab, our favorite Citadel Securities, Citibank, E-Trade, Fidelity, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, TD Ameritrade, UBS. And then we have another page here, Morgan Stanley, Wells Fargo, Virtue. I mean, guys, this is literally all of the major institutions that are backing this. That's just crazy. That is absolutely insane. So, of course, I showed you this, and just to jump back over here, I did want to compare this because people could say, oh, this could just be a glitch in the system or whatever it may be. So, over on my charts here, I have Apple, Google, S&P 500, or the SPY, the ETF that tracks the S&P 500, and Tesla. And I just want to compare these prices to the anomalies that's going on with AMC and GME. So, first, we'll take a look at Apple. Apple's currently trading at, call it just 150 here, 149.10 on the ticker. We'll jump at Apple, go to the 1 month here. Come on, load for me here. And as you guys can see it, but I don't know why this is going to take forever to load, but nothing too crazy. I mean, yeah, sure, it has a couple spikes up and down, but that is consistent with the charts. We'll take a look at one other. We'll just jump over to Tesla for shits and giggles here, just because I do want to prove to you guys that what's going on with AMC and GameStop might not be a coincidence. And before we dive into this anymore, of course, they do have a little thing on the page here. Testnet is for test and demonstration use only. Prices may not reflect real-world data. So on the drop down here, and of course, I'm going to link all these articles in the description section below, so definitely check it out and play around with this. You do have DevNat and TestNat. DevNat shows relatively the same thing. So it's, of course, DevNet is also for test and administration purposes only. Nothing too crazy. And of course, this is the exact price of Tesla. So that's crazy to see. But now let's jump over to AMC here just to dive into this. And this, honestly, when I started playing around with this this new website here, I was really astonished. But the more I started digging into this, and don't worry, we're going to get into that, the more I was like, wow, this actually is something that could be absolutely huge for all of us. So this is on DevNet here. As you can see, we're just going to go to 723, or right about the end of day of 722. We hit a high of $5,000 per share, and that's on DevNet. TestNet, we actually hit a high of $768. So that's crazy. And, obviously, other days we are very, very similar to the actual price, but on certain dates we actually spike up. But not to mention, this day was 810. We're going to jump back here to AMC. And what was on 810, guys? Do we remember this at all? 810, earnings day. It was 8-9 after hours when earnings happened. On 810, that was the day where we had massive price reduction right after a ridiculously hot earnings bell. So on the same day in this alternative trading platform here, AMC hits a high of $768. Now, of course, you guys are going to be absolutely mind blown as to why this may be happening. And this could actually explain the first screenshot that started off with this this bid of $1.10. So let's read this section below, and this does give a very good description of what could be going on. So anyways, it is spiking at times of critical mass. When the stock is about to make a major move, for instance, today when we breached heavy resistance, yada, 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 they buy at those prices in the dark pools and then reroute the orders, possibly going through MEMX. I'm sure there's others, of course, until it is suppressed. Clearly, someone is paying big dollars for those shares at the time of critical mass to buy them in the dark pools for $2,000 to $5,000 a piece and then bid them for $1.10 on NYSE to suppress the liftoff. And wow, this makes total sense. And especially when we're looking at AMC, when we had such huge suppression in the price on that one day, they were literally buying shares. And this is potentially, guys, we cannot really confirm this data, but this is some thoughts that's been going around in the community where they buy the shares at $768, but then they actually list them for much, much cheaper, kind of suppressing the price action to make it go down. And that's exactly what we saw on 810. So that is something just blew my mind reading this. It's just absolutely insane. And just for you GameStop shareholders as well, we'll just take a quick look at this, jump over to the 1 month, and look at this, guys. Days of it being at 5,000. I'm sorry, 25.75 here on the testnet. We'll jump over the DevNet here on the 1 month. If this loads for us here. Come on now. I mean, this is just something else. Look at this. All of these spikes, guys. And this literally matches up almost perfectly with all of the suppression in the stock price. So that is pretty crazy, guys. So are a few other things as well that I do want to cover. So right here. So this, of course, take this with a grain of salt because we can't really validate this information. But this user says, I remember when all of this was taking off after January, a random user with a since deleted account who claimed to work for a short hedge fund and would have been very sketchy, except for the specific accurate details he provided, said something along the lines of, you guys are starting to figure it out, but I promise you this, you haven't found 5% of the ways that we're cheating. And I mean, of course, this was back in January. I think we're much past the 5%. But guys, I think there is still so much out there that we don't even know that's going on behind the scenes. So of course, what do we discovered, guys? Married puts, deep in the money calls, failure to deliver cycle, dark pools, algorithmic patterns, and today, MEMX and PYTH, PYTH. So that is really, really crazy. So guys, this is something that relates to GME, but of course, after looking into this data, and this is something I'm going to be watching come next week on Monday and Tuesday when price action is live. But look at this. I checked, and it corresponds exactly to the minute before each price drop. What we've been calling a short ladder attack for literally the past, 7-8 months. The price spikes anywhere from 600 to 800 in regards to GameStop. Literally the minute the price has fallen down to a safe level, a quote-unquote safe level, the dark pool price sinks back to 162, and you can see for yourself. Check out what happens between 1129 and 1144. This is insane. Probably the best piece of DD to come out in recent memory. So, guys, I do urge you, definitely go check this out. But regardless of this data, the price today is still, I have to check here because I'm not 100% sure, $33.47. So, of course, this is just something that could be going on behind the scenes, and it really looks promising. But I do urge for yourself not to make any decisions from this right away. I do want to validate this come Monday and Tuesday of next week just to see how this lines up, but this is super, super interesting. So, guys, that's all I have for you for today. Enjoy your Saturday. Enjoy the weekend because we have big things coming for next week. All right, guys, take it easy. Peace out. Like and subscribe, and tune in for the next one.